Gender identity is real. According to one federal judge who temporarily blocks Ron DeSantis' bill on child mutilation.
What the fuck?
When asked by reporters, "Are you a doctor?" he says, "No, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn once."
What, are you retarded?
I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this is ridiculous. But it's what's next. Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. Jasper Gonzo, your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. All right. Well, Florida, DeSantis. Okay, we're not going to talk about his presidential aspirations, which of course we know that he is in full presidential running mode. Of course, it'll be him and Trump at the very end, but that's another story. Gender-affirming care, i.e., translation, in reality, child mutilation, both mentally and physically. DeSantis has been a total savage against child mutilation since day one, especially over the last, give or take 1 to 2 years, that he has passed a number of policies in regards to giving parents more power to protect their children from an education standpoint and from a medical standpoint. And of course, he has just gone to war regarding hospitals and clinics and facilities who do child mutilation, literally destroying children's lives. And of course, he's going after the drag shows as well, and that's always a bonus. But one federal judge has stepped in Florida and says, gender identity is real. But of course, when he was asked after his decision, he said, "I'm not a doctor, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn once." Yeah. This, out of my part. Gender identity is real. Federal judge issues preliminary injunction against Florida's restriction on gender-affirming care, aka child mutilation. Excuse me. A federal judge on Tuesday proclaimed gender identity is real in an order that partially blocks Florida's restriction on gender-affirming care for minors. Yeah. Last month, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill into law that restricts gender-affirming care for children, among other things. The law prohibits the use of puberty blockers to stop or delay normal puberty in order to affirm a person's perception of his or her sex. That perception is inconsistent with the person's natal sex or natural. The legislation also prohibits cross-sex hormones to affirm a person's perception of his or her sex. A perception is inconsistent with the person's natural sex. Yes, the normal order of things as God made us to be, but then again, I'm just using facts. Florida is proud to lead the way to standing up for our children, DeSantis said when he signed the bill into law. As the world goes mad, Florida represents a refuge of sanity and a citadel of normalcy. Well put. I think I butchered that last part myself, excuse me. However, 7 parents of transgender children amended their lawsuit to seek to block the new law once DeSantis signed it into law. Four of the children involved do not need immediate care, according to their doctors. But one child's doctor said puberty blockers are needed now, without delay. And the doctors and the other 2 children said, they're going to need them soon. With a preliminary injunction on Tuesday, Judge Robert Hinkle, a Clinton appointee, would allow 3 children to continue receiving their hormone treatments, saying that they would suffer irreparable harm if not allowed to continue to access to hormones and puberty blockers. Yes, if you deny them their drugs, God forbid, they'll be normal kids. But no, I'm just saying. Hinkle wrote, if the 3 plaintiffs to the issue do not start their hormones soon, they will go into puberty consistent with their natural sex. God forbid. What? They'll live their lives with the consequences. Yes, with the consequences of normalcy for the rest of their lives. The likelihood is very high that they will suffer attendant adverse medical health consequences. Like they're not having medical health consequences now? If, on the other hand, they do not get their puberty blockers, they will avoid some of those adverse consequences. They will also face attendant risks. Yes! They may have a problem going to school. In a 44-page ruling, of course, this gets all trashed with this one phrase. Gender identity is real. So everything he said on that 44-page decision meant nothing. All you had to hear was that part. And that's pretty much all you needed to know. The elephant in the room should be noted on the outset. The elephant in the room should be noted on the outset. Gender identity is real. But when asked, he says, no, I'm not a doctor, but I don't care. He continued, those whose gender identity does not match their natural sex often suffer gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is a real thing, a clinical diagnosed thing, according to psychiatric and most psychologists. The widespread accepted standard for care calls for evaluation and treatment by the multidisciplinary team. Proper treatment begins with mental health therapy and is followed by appropriate cases of puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. Florida has adopted a statute that prohibits the treatment of even those when medically appropriate, which it never is. The plaintiffs are likely to prevail on their claim that prohibition is unconstitutional, which is absolute bullshit, and they have met the prerequisites to a preliminary injunction. There's nothing. I'm sorry. Any constitutional scholars out there? Anybody want to pull up what it says in the Constitution regarding about you using hormones to kill off, your natural puberty? I'll wait. Hinkle's ruling leaves intact portions of Florida law that prohibits gender-affirming surgeries. Yes, I'm glad the man has standards and says, hey, you know what? We're going to give you the puberty blockers to stunt your puberty, but when it comes to chopping off your balls or lopping off your breasts, well, we're going to hold off on that. In his order, Hinkle criticized Florida for relying on expertise of a doctor who has not performed the surgery. Yes, God forbid a doctor with sense actually says, yeah, it's not needed. One tweet. The judge who blocked Florida's anti-transgender law criticizes the state on relying on expertise of a doctor who says gender-affirming care, who's against it because the doctor says gender-affirming care has never performed a gender-affirming care surgery. Quote, another defense expert, Dr. Patrick Lappert, a surgeon who has never performed the child mutilation, said in a radio interview that child mutilation is a lie and that moral violations a huge evil and is diabolical. Facts, and more facts. State employees or consultants suggest that treatment or transgender individuals are either a woke idea or profiteering by pharmaceutical industry or doctors. Again, more facts. The judge also claimed that Florida's law was motivated by substantially part in the plainly illegitimate purposes of disapproving transgender status and discouraging individuals from pursuing their honest gender identities. God forbid you're allowed to pursue your mental illness. How dare you? Hinkle also cited substantial bigotry. Yes, of course, we were just waiting for it. Yes, you are a bigot directed at transgender individuals, and referenced State Representative Webster Barnaby's Republican use of words mutants or demons during a legislative hearing on the bill. Excuse me. And even when not based on bigotry, there are those who incorrectly but sincerely believe that gender identity is not real but instead a choice. This is, as noted above, the elephant in the room. Interesting, Hinkle said. They doubt that treatments are available in Iran or other similarly repressive regimes, despite Iran being the only Islamic country where gender-affirming surgeries are recognized. That's interesting, coming from a state-sponsored terrorist nation. The fact of the matter is that I'm going to play Ron DeSantis for a moment. I'm Ron DeSantis, and as soon as this decision hit, I am out there in a press conference, and I say, you know what? With all due respect to federal Judge Hinkle, you, dude. You and the horse you rode on. Because the fact of the matter is that this is going to go forward, whether you like it or not. The ban is going to go forward because I'm here to protect children. I'm here to give parents the tools that they need to protect their children from the evils and demonism that is child-affirming care. And have a good day. That's it. You're done. And you move on. But this should be no surprise to anybody that a federal judge would eventually stick their nose where they don't belong, to legislate from the bench. Remember that? Remember that term, legislate from the bench, that the Supreme Court was accused of for decades and still is accused now because, of course, after they got done burning Roe v. Wade. So, DeSantis, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, brother, because you are a total savage. Now, I would love to hear Trump's mind on this, what Trump thinks on this. But then again, Trump was asked regarding the debt ceiling, bill that Dementia is about to sign into law, and he said, "Well, to quote him, it is what it is." Now, I hope he doesn't have that same philosophy in regards to children getting physically and mentally destroyed by shit like this and by judges who allow it. I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.